Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Coffee with Carla, and what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do is make a video every single day. And I really wanted to do a live. The problem is I don't know if there is any interest in doing a live at like 6 a.m., which is really the only time that I can do this. So for now, I am going to just do Coffee with Carla, but please, 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 if you have interest in joining me for a live at 6 a.m., just let me know in the chat because I can certainly do this live as opposed to pre-filming. I just don't really want to do a live if no one's going to show up anyways. It'll just be me. So if you are up at 6 a.m. anyways and you want to join me, let me know. I would be more than happy to do that, and that way I can answer any questions that you have during our live. But for now, what I'll do is just have my coffee and do this kind of whenever, and then post it and you can watch it at your leisure. So what I would love to do is every single day of the week, I want to focus on a different topic so that I am getting kind of the full scope of how do you parent young kids at home, especially now where things are just a little bit up in the air and crazy. Because what I truly believe is now more than ever, we need connection and we need support and we need help. And now more than ever, we are disconnected from the world. We're disconnected from one another. We're disconnected from the things that keep us mentally well and healthy and just where we need to be as parents to be able to support our kids and help our kids in the best way we possibly can. So what I want to do is I am home with my own kids right now, and I understand firsthand how challenging it can be sometimes, right? And I also know that for my clients, many of you already struggle, or for people who follow, who watch this, maybe you're not my clients, and that is perfectly okay. This is for you too. So I want to put this content out there. There is no catch, there is no pitch, there is no nothing. I just want to help, and I feel like my hands are so tied right now. So I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help my clients. I'm gonna help you in any way I possibly can. And right now, it's not providing one-on-one in-person therapy. Right now, the best way that I can help you as parents, the best way that I can support you is to give you as much information and as much support as I possibly can here virtually, and in a way that you can kind of consume that as it fits for you. So what I want to do is kind of a different topic each day of the week. And that way I'm kind of covering the full scope of just parenting at home. So I wrote a little bit of an outline here on what some of the topics are that I want to focus on. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Please let me know if there are particular topics that you are super excited about hearing more about and you want me to focus on those, or if there are topics that I haven't actually covered and I haven't mentioned and you're like, this is really what I need right now. Let me know, please. Maybe they fit into one of these broader categories. Maybe they don't. Maybe some of these categories you'll go through and you'll say to yourself, you know what, I really don't care about that. Like, that is not helpful for me right now. Tell me that too, please. If you know anything about me, I genuinely love feedback. I know lots of people say that and then they take it really harsh, or they don't take it into consideration. Trust me, I know I've had people in my life that are like that, and it's scary, but I promise you, I want your feedback. I want to know how I can best serve you, how I can best help you, and how I can best make content that is going to support you, especially now, but not just now. This is really something that I want to continue with kind of indefinitely, so that more people, even if you are not a client, you don't have to pay me a penny. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So here's the topics. Let me know, please, what you think about this. Good, bad, ugly, don't care. Please just tell me. And I promise you that I will read those comments. I will take those comments into consideration. I can't promise you that, I won't cover these topics or I will cover specific topics, but I can promise you that I am going to listen to your feedback and I'm going to do what makes the most sense for just overall what I'm trying to offer here. So Sunday, what I want to do on Sundays is really talk about wellness tips for parents. So as parents of young kids, how can you keep yourself, first of all, sane? Make sure that you're keeping yourself kind of in the best mental health that you possibly can right now for yourself and for your kids. So this isn't necessarily about parenting. It's just about how do we keep ourselves in the best frame of mind possible, and how do we do that not just for ourselves, but also so that we can show up each and every day as our best selves for our kids. Mondays, I want to talk about how to prevent behavior problems in the first place. So maybe you have young kids and you're doing well. Things are going really great. You don't need therapy. You don't need intervention. You don't need counseling support. You don't need extra. But if you're like most parents, you always think about like, how do I make sure we continue on with this trajectory? How do I make sure that I'm doing the best that I possibly can, so I'm preventing things from happening? And honestly, that is the absolute best frame of mind that you can be in. So if you have babies, if you are pregnant, if you are even thinking about becoming a parent, or if you have young kids, even if they are already showing behaviors, how do you prevent new ones from starting? Or how do you prevent things from getting worse? So we're going to talk all about preventing behavior problems from starting in the first place on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, I want to talk a little bit more about child development. So each Tuesday, I'll talk about a particular child development topic. And I think one of the biggest keys that as psychologists or as mental health professionals or early child development professionals that we have is this broad knowledge of child development, which really helps us to be able to understand where our kids are at, what they need, and how to move forward in the best way possible. What I think is really lacking is just general parent education on child development. And I've noticed this a lot because parents don't always know what to expect. And this can lead to us either having too high of expectations for our kids and thinking that they should be doing things that they're not doing, or they should be capable of so much more. And we as parents can get really frustrated or overwhelmed or just anxious about, why isn't my child doing this yet? Or, they should be doing this. And it can really lead to actually accidentally creating anxiety or creating behavior problems for our kids. On the flip side of that, if we don't know enough about child development, then we may set the bar way too low. We may have really low expectations for our kids, which can stunt their growth in terms of becoming more independent or just learning social skills, learning the skills that they need to develop in order to be successful when they get to those school-aged years and beyond, of course. So I want to really focus that on, Tuesdays on child development, just to give an overall better understanding to the world and to parents in general of what to expect in terms of child development. Because, like I mentioned, there's just too little knowledge out there of that. And it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just not something that is really talked about a lot. I think as parents, we're just expected sometimes to know what to expect, or to know, just kind of go with it and figure it out as we go. But the reality of the situation is, when we are equipped with more information, we can make better decisions and we can parent better. And that is really what I feel my whole purpose is to help parents to get the skills and the strategies and the theory and the knowledge that they need in order to enhance their whole lives. Because let's face it, parenting is a 24/7 job. Even when your kids are in school, you are thinking about them, you are worried about what's happening at school. It is a 24/7 job. And the reality is, unless you go into the field of psychology or behavior or early childhood development or counseling, you don't get equipped with this knowledge. So I want to provide a little bit of that. Sorry, that was a really long rant, but hopefully you can see my passion coming through, because I believe 100% that the more we can equip parents with the knowledge that we have, as opposed to just taking kids in and working with them one-on-one, the more that we can actually change families' lives and change generations. When we talk about things like just talking about sustainability, talking about the ability to spread our knowledge, and it really is about doing that in kids' natural environments. And what better place to start than parents? Or if you're a grandparent raising a child, or a caregiver, a foster parent, an adoptive parent, an aunt, an uncle, I don't care who you are, if you are raising kids, having this knowledge will just better equip you through all of your parenting. So again, rant over, I'm gonna carry on. So on Wednesdays, I want to talk all about teaching your kids new skills. So how do you go about teaching your child skills? What are some really good strategies? What are some good things to consider? What can you do when you are trying to teach your young child new skills? It could be social skills. It could be, how to zip up their jacket. Just really, really simple things. It could be, how do you teach them how to speak? How do you just teach them all the things that they need to know to be successful? And I use successful in the loose sense of the term, but successful overall in life. On Thursdays, I want to really focus on, how do you manage misbehavior? So every child, I don't care how incredible your child is, at some point they are going to misbehave. And what you may not know is kids misbehave more often than they behave in the general sense. So if you feel like your child is misbehaving like half the time, then know that that's normal. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you some really great ideas and understanding of why kids misbehave. Where does it come from? What can we do to deal with that? And how do we move forward? How do we approach things in a way that is going to teach them how to behave in alignment with how we want them to behave, and the type of behavior that is going to allow them to be successful now while they're little, as well as they continue to grow and develop. On Fridays, I'm going to talk all about how to manage anxiety. What do you do? How do you help young kids who experience anxiety? Maybe it's separation anxiety, maybe it's anxiety about just being in groups of people, or maybe it is just overall feelings of being scared. How do you manage that? How do you move forward with that? And we're going to talk about anxiety. And this is not just for really young kids. This is for kids, just anxiety in general, I want to talk about, because it's such a huge topic. So if you have kids anywhere from like 2 to, at really any age, we can talk about anxiety and how that manifests, and what you can do as parents, not only to prevent it, but to deal with it as well. So we'll talk about anxiety on Fridays, and then Saturday we'll just It's going to be kind of an open topic. I want Saturday to be more about having fun, ideas for how to engage your kids, setting up schedules. How do you just maintain some sort of fun and happiness and joy in your day-to-day parenting life? So please let me know your thoughts on some of those topics. If there's some that you're really excited about, tell me. If there's some that you think are just not something you're really interested in at all, or you don't think will be helpful, please tell me. I'm okay with you posting that publicly for all to see. And actually that's even better, because if people agree, I'll see that there's lots of people that agree with that. If people disagree, I'll see that, okay, for you, maybe that's not the best fit, but there are still lots of people who could benefit from that. And then that way I'll know whether it's something I should focus on or not focus on. And we'll just move forward from there, because I really think that, like I mentioned already, now more than ever before, we need connection, and we can't connect in the traditional ways that we always have. So I want to give value. I want to help parents, because I know that parenting can be a challenging journey, and I know firsthand that having a child who really struggles with behaviors or struggles with anxiety, it can be really hard, and it can be really lonely. And especially now when we're kind of cut off from all of our typical sources of breaks and supports, that now more than ever you need this help and this support and this guidance. And you're also, maybe not you personally, but there are so many people right now that are just not in the financial situation to get the support and the help that they need. And, you know, listening to just, I don't know, there's just so much stuff out there that is meant to be helpful, but maybe is not quite what you need right now. So I just want to provide that. I want to see if I can fill some gaps, and I want to support as many parents and as many kids and as many families as I possibly can. So this is free. This is just join when you can, watch when you can, take what you will from it, and take what resonates with you. Leave the rest. You don't have to agree with everything I say. That's perfectly okay. Please have your own opinions. Please take what I say and apply it in a way that is helpful for you and your family, and just leave the rest. We all will pick up different things that resonate with us and that fit for our situation, and different things that don't, and just throw it away. That's okay. So anyways, I hope that this is something that you're excited about. I know I'm really excited about it. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I guess this COVID just gave me the kick in the pants that I needed to get started. So thanks so much for watching, and please, 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 like I said, let me know in the comments if there are topics you love and you definitely want to see me post about. B, there are topics that you think are just really not helpful, or something that's not worth focusing on. Or C, there are topics that I have completely missed that you feel would be so important to address and deal with. Or D, let me know if you are wanting to hop on live calls at 6 a.m. because I can certainly make that happen if it is something that will be valuable for people, for you, for, you know, whoever is able to make it on. So let me know all of those things, and I look forward to just helping you through this really challenging, weird time in our lives. Thanks so much, and take care.